Hi to you all today. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so may the best team win. Good to have you all on board today. I had a request actually a few weeks ago to do this hornpipe that I'm going to just play a little bit slower and maybe up to speed and talk about a little bit, maybe talk a little bit about hornpipes. This is a tune that came from an album that I did with Dáithí Sproule some years ago. I think it was just called Liz Carroll. And of course, it should have been Liz Carroll and Dáithí Sproule. I don't know. We kind of missed the boat there. I think later versions of it had both our names on the cover to kind of fix that. But a lot of my tunes were on that album, and it was really kind of a chance to really break out and play a lot of new tunes I had been working on. So this hornpipe that I'm going to play today is called Gravity Hill, and it comes on a track with another tune that's called For Eugene. Eugene was For Eugene was named after Eugene O'Donnell, the great fiddle player from Derry, who I had the great fortune of just having lots of fun experiences at festivals and at concerts, thanks to Mick Maloney, and they had a very wonderful duet out of Philadelphia for many years, and Eugene was just a character. And so we loved him, and he had a lot of verve in his playing, and in fact, hornpipes were one of his favorite things to play. He would get as much of a reaction from playing a hornpipe as the rest of us killing ourselves playing reels. Just with this lot of verve and amazing technique and just ability to go up octaves, and fantastic use of vibrato. In any case, the first tune on that track was a tune for him, and I always liked that he would come up to me and just go, "I play that tune better than you," and I would go, "Oh yeah, I know," and he did. But I enjoyed the tune, and so I was asked to do the tune after, and this is a tune that might have been composed around the same time or a little bit earlier. It definitely was named sometime later, but one time I was in Ireland, and there was an accordion player named Johnny Burns, who was up from around Dundalk in County Louth. And I was on a trip to Ireland with an old buddy of mine, Sue Gawler, and I knew Johnny because he had been going to school at Notre Dame, which is not that far away from Chicago. And there was a great friend there, David James, and actually there has ended up being a catalog of friends who have come out of South Bend. But at the time, Johnny Burns was going to school there, and so was another fellow named Mick Clancy, who was a fiddle player. So going back to Ireland that year, maybe 1981, I met up with Johnny, brought Sue along to meet him, and one of the things we did was he took us to a place that was called Gravity Hill. So I know that there's more than one of these in the world, and I know there's supposed to be one somewhere in the western United States. This one was indeed not far from Dundalk, and it might have been in County Down, I'm not sure. And the idea was that you would take your car and you'd basically point your car up a hill and then just put yourself in neutral. And in fact, instead of falling back down the hill, the car appeared to ascend. So it was very weird and a funny phenomenon. And this tune then got named after that experience more than it did about anything to do with the gravity or the hill. But just it was a good experience and fun. And of course, Gravity Hill is a good set of words. So I'm going to play this tune for you, and then we'll talk about it. Here we go. because this is a hornpipe, it can be played different ways. Even the first way that I just played it there would not be too slow for a dancer, let's say, who's dancing a very complicated step. So when I was taking it, almost like for you to learn it, at this pace, it wouldn't, you know, that might be a good speed for a lot of dancers. Musically, a lot of times we would go a bit faster than that, maybe. But you'll hear everything out there when it comes to hornpipes. I think about old-time players and bluegrass players playing things like fisherman's hornpipe. You know, it's pretty much played like a reel. And there's no like dotted notes happening. And a lot of times, not so much anymore, because yeah, the world has gotten smaller, but when I would meet people, I would go, well, that tune actually has a lot of dotted notes happening in it, because that was my experience at the time. But indeed, I think hornpipes are so nice because you can play them slowly and you're not wrong. And then you can play them very quick, and you can play them with dots, without dots. And I think I do a lot of all of that. Of course, when I'm playing on my own, a lot of times I want to point out what kind of chords I'm rather hearing. And so yes, so when I'm talking about dotted idea, or a dotted idea of playing this tune, even though I didn't make it up to be this, it can be. When I smooth that out, which I think is really the way hornpipes have gone over time, so the dot isn't like completely gone out of it, but there's a smoothness, like instead of a, I'm really changing to that too. And making all of that just kind of slick out. Wow, interesting expression that now. So yes, and then ultimately, just because I love playing, as I've said before, often now, that I love playing opposites against each other, it can be really fun and interesting to experiment with both of those. So one phrase could be very dotted, and the next phrase you can slope it out so that it's very smooth. And you can be very clean with your like no grace notes and all as you're playing, but then you could be very ornamental, and then you can get rid of it. And again, you can point out some little chords that you are hearing with your double stops, and that can be nice too. And even little things like just, you can syncopate little spots, just take out a note, come in with the next note from the next measure ahead of time, and let me see if I'm explaining what I'm saying there. So instead of going, I could go. Yeah. So I'm going to play the tune again, and I invite you to play along with me and learn this tune. I think it's kind of interesting because it's almost the whole first part is getting me to here. So all of this part before it. I'm happy. Yeah, so I will play it once more for you, and again, I invite you to play along and add a new tune to your repertoire and just to see what's happening. Again, I'm going to play it slow, but I might put a little bit more ornamentation in it for you, and you can give that a try as well. Okay.